To understand where we are, we must understand the history of Thessaloniki and how it came to be the most important trade and business hub in the Balkans and one of the largest education centers in Europe, hosting the largest student population in Greece. The history of Thessaloniki is a long one, dating back to the ancient Greeks. During the time of the Greeks, the city developed its first walls and even its own parliament. During the Roman Empire, the city became the capital for all the Greek provinces due to its spacious harbor. Then came the Ottoman Empire, where the city's Muslim and Jewish population began to infest the city, housing about 8,500 Muslims and Jews and about 7,900 Greeks. During the First Balkan War, the Ottoman garrison surrendered Thessaloniki to the Greek army, officially symbolizing Thessaloniki's liberation from the Turks. Today, Thessaloniki continues to write history through its cross-cultural metropolitan lifestyle. After 18 years, this is where I found myself living, learning, and meeting people that would change my life forever. Hi, my name is Aurelio Zambellas, and I am a student at Northeastern University. Presently, I am studying in Greece for my first semester of college. Yeah, first semester spent abroad. I thought the same thing before I got here, so I had no idea what to expect. It all started on my arrival into Greece, when I walked out of the airport and was greeted by the excited Greeks, looking forward to meeting the newbies on the block. They all stood there laughing in the rain and introducing themselves in their thick Greek accent. That's when I thought the next 3 months would be just like an extended family gathering back home. But I was wrong. The experiences I would encounter in the next few months would change my view of the world. Once I saw the buses and the Greeks trying to stuff hundreds of suitcases into them in the rain, I ran over to help. They all told me in English that it was okay and that I didn't need to help. But I responded in Greek by saying, "It's raining, I don't want you guys to get sick." This was the moment that I later found out was when the Greeks realized they had found one of their own. Little did I know though that these guys would soon become some of my closest friends. They were all like me in personality, in religion, and in love with their country. These were the guys that would show me Thessaloniki through their eyes, having lived here all their lives. They took me to all the local hotspots where we sat for hours laughing and drinking a cup of coffee while watching the beautiful city run through its daily routine. I'm Greek, but I didn't understand my culture fully until I let this become part of my daily routine. As this became a typical day for me, I needed to have my coffee in one of two places, a good local coffee shop or at the college. Now this is the college where most of my learning took place. Not only the learning of business calculus or economics, but the learning of other cultural backgrounds. Prior to ACT, I had not met many Russians or Serbians, and now I was studying with them, going out with them, and even learning how they came to be in Thessaloniki studying just like me. Their stories were so interesting, some coming to ACT due to the fact that this school had the best studies closest to home, while others came because of the need to flee home. Not only did this school teach me new things, it also gave me the first Thanksgiving dinner I have ever had. You know how it feels to hear about everyone's favorite holiday and officially never have lived it? Well, this year I lived it, and now I know why it's everyone's favorite holiday. I ate so much I had to be rolled into my room. Aside from school, my time here has been anything but dull. One of the most memorable experiences here was visiting the Agora with my uncle. We drove to the outskirts of the city where all the farmers gathered their products to sell them to the big supermarket companies. It was exhilarating to see how fruits and vegetables came in bulks and were sold to the vendors. I was literally watching the middleman at work, which you never get to see in the United States. As life at Thessaloniki continued to run, some of us took the weekend as a chance to see what other cities had to offer. One of my first trips was to another city that had frequently changed powers over its history. It was the city of Berlin, probably one of the most interesting cities on earth. There, I visited the famous Berliner Dome and saw the remains of the Berliner Wall. Culture there was so different from Greece. On average, people were younger, more affectionate, and much more joyful. Plus, they all looked like they were worth $1 million. With this, I saw the difference between a country with economic strife and one without. On my free time, I also visited Amsterdam and even a more local place, Athens. Another interesting aspect of our attendance at ACT was the service learning, or community service on steroids, that we were assigned to. I was originally assigned to college counseling, but midway through I was asked to change to a center for Down syndrome patients. This is where my learning and service really began. The organization asked us to be there to help out with tasks such as having weekly conversations about the weather with the community to make their lives seem much more normal. Now this wasn't the first time I had dealt with Down syndrome because my cousin has it, and he can only communicate with facial expressions and finger pointing. One time when he was younger, he bit me out of a form of love, so I did have some experience with dealing with it, but the challenge this time was communicating through the broken Greek, making it somewhat impossible to understand them. But this didn't stop any of the members there from trying to hold a conversation with me. I not only helped them in their daily routines such as writing the date and time, but also drilled them in understanding age and what is expected from them. As the weeks have gone by, I've enjoyed my time at this place. We've had some fun, and I have learned a lot about disability and how to react to it. I have made a lot of friends there, and I believe now I can understand my cousin back home a lot better, which will strengthen my bond with him and even help my uncle and aunt take care of him. All in all, this is the country that I could trace all my roots back to. It's also the country that I have wanted to visit all my life, and now 18 years after I was born, I was given the opportunity to not only visit, but also live and breathe it for 3 months, and this has changed me dramatically. I believe now that I officially have become one of the Greeks.
And the calm she call off. Man, I look into my nephew's eyes. Man, you wouldn't believe the most amazing things that can come from some terrible lies.